Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Funny thing about this review, I just recorded this review once, and during the midst of recording this, these stupid ass teenagers were just like blaring their horns as they were driving by this parking lot. So, um, young kids, so I'm just gonna re-record this review. So just an FYI, if I kind of just seem like I'm getting through certain thoughts, it's just I already spilled them out on camera. So, um, and if you notice a couple of reviews back to back on this channel for the next couple of days, I'm just catching a lot of films that I want to see this week. So just if you notice a lot of reviews coming out, just there's just a lot to see. So I just giving you guys a heads up just in case you see a lot of reviews popping up in the next couple of days. Um, the first of those films is going to be 1001, which is written and directed by AJ Rockwell, I believe that's the name, and I presume it's a directorial debut. Um, Premiered at Sundance. I believe it won the big prize there, whatever the hell it is. Um, Tells a story of a woman who is just getting out of prison. Did some pretty stupid things with her boyfriend. Who I remember the boyfriend's name was Lucky. I forget what the hell her name was. I don't know why that's escaping me right now. Um, she's back in Harlem. She's trying to readjust to life. She's trying to make some money, trying to get an apartment. And amidst doing all this, she finds a young boy um, who doesn't have a home, basically just an abandoned kid. Um, and she decides to take the responsibility of taking care of and protecting the child. And she gets her boyfriend back and brings him into the fold, and ultimately is trying to build a foundation of a family of sorts. The issue that lies within all this is that she does not tell the truth to the boy about who is who, and the boy presumes that this is his real mother, and that's daddy. Um, and the foundation is basically built on a really big lie and a really big secret. And amidst all this, there's also great amounts of toxicity that's happening because while the mother, while the woman does have noble intentions with taking on a kid, she's clearly not equipped to take care of a kid. She is going through great amounts of stress. She's also very aggressive, and she's not well vetted to be taking care of a kid. Noble in what she did, and noble in the fact that she wanted to help out somebody because she sees herself within said child. Um, it's ultimately though naive because like you you need to have um, certain knowledge on how to take care of a child. It's not as simple as snatching one off the street. You have to know certain things. Um, and the film makes a point about that extremely about the toxicities that she presents and really just the toxic environment that's built within this home. Um, so, I mean, there is great messagings of toxicity and but also a lot about just intentions and morality. Um, but it also has to do a lot with moving forward. What it means to move forward and how does one better themselves and how does one push themselves to their fullest potential. Um, and and we see that through the mother and through the son, how the son is wanting to is actually quite smart and he could actually do a lot more, but because of his mother's decisions in the past, we see how that affects him. Um and there is this love that's there still, even through all the toxic behaviors, even through all the manipulation. There's still a love that is felt at the center of it. um which at the end of the film, there actually is a fairly heartfelt scene where they actually speak truth for the first time and they actually are fully bonding. Um, So I found the messaging to be pretty interesting and pretty investing. I also felt that the performances were, in general, pretty good. I enjoyed pretty much all three of them. Um, I think that the mom is pretty good. I think the father was pretty good. I gotta say, the son was kind of a standout to me, especially when he got older. I think it's just because of just the way they built up the character. Because one of the downsides to the film is that I feel that the interplay with the dynamic I feel is a little hollow. I didn't really feel the chemistry between the father and the son. The mother and the son, you get moments, but it's kind of leaning more towards the mother's perspective. You don't really feel much about how the son is feeling in this kind of circumstance. Um, so it's kind of iffy when it comes to just how they bond overall together. Separate performances, though, I think are actually pretty good. Um, I really like the aesthetic of it. It reminds me of like a Spike Lee joint, like Do the Right Thing. It reminded me a lot of that. It's set in Harlem and stuff like that, so it kind of evokes, or reminds you of such film in some regards, in terms of aesthetic and setting. Um, and I think that, to me, it's a film that is pretty solid. The downsides, besides the developments for me, are having to do with pacing, I think, and just delivery of the drama itself. At points, it just doesn't feel like we're feeling the full punch. It feels like we're kind of taking kind of easier roads. We're not looking to reach the full complexities of what this story is. And it's funny because the movie's all about about one trying to move forward and, become their best self. The film itself is not really that. It kind of feels at points where the story is not delivering emotionally at its highest. It feels like we're just kind of sitting at a certain momentum and at certain waters that are still engaging and still investing, but it's not enough where you start like bawling. You start just being like incredibly charged emotionally, because I feel like that at points that the film wanted to be that, but I just didn't feel that way because the movie was not at that particular height that it thinks it is. Um, so some of the interplay, some of the developments, not as strong, um, and some the pacing is a little iffy for me, but I really like the performances. I like this message about, how one grows within a toxic environment, and how they, and the foundation of a family, and the foundation, and how you build kind of like a tragic circumstance, um, because of one's naiveness and one's blindness. Um, because make no mistake about it, the woman in the film, while did a noble thing, made an incredibly naive and bad decision, and she herself admits that in the film. Um, and I like that the film does not take a naive stance on the film and say that, oh well, she made a great choice. No, she made a pretty poor choice because it was a very selfish choice, or very selfish reason for why she did it. So I like that the film actually takes a very honest look at such thing. It doesn't try to play favoritism towards a particular character or whatever. It actually lets the messages are like have a lot of room to breathe. Um, I just wish that the characters were given more to chew on. I wish that they actually had more time to interact with each other, just so I can feel the emotional impact. And perhaps maybe not uh be too quick or too slow, like, have a little bit more of a consistency and pace. But it's pretty investing, it's pretty engaging, it's acted pretty well. Visually, it's quite nice to look at. Um, so I thought it was a solid effort. I found myself enjoying it. I just think that it could have benefited a lot more um, from a little bit more of a sense of depth, because there is some waitfulness thematically speaking, but it's with the characters. I wish it matched that, you know, because if when we're talking to the character, with the characters, and they're interacting and they're doing, you know, certain things, I'm not feeling the themes as much, um, you know, and it's like it's a weird thing because I feel like the characters are like performed well, but I just feel like that they needed more developments for me to be fully engaged with them. But I'm engaged thematically speaking. I think that it has a lot of richness in that area, but not much when it comes to its characters. So that's my thoughts on the film. I thought it was pretty solid for what it was. But you guys know your thoughts about 1001 if you have seen the film. I don't think a lot of people went to see this film. A couple of teenagers went into my theater, and then just one old dude, so it was pretty empty. But you guys know your thoughts in the comment section below if you guys saw it or not. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. I'm getting a little chilly, so excuse me if I just kind of sped through the last part of this review. It's just getting a little chilly in here. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you guys saw this film. Decent film. I think you guys should check it out. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, we've got a ton of reviews coming in for this channel, so stay tuned for those. If any other content or any other news pops up, obviously we'll talk about it on this channel if I find it interesting, worth talking about on camera. But I take any suggestions either. If you guys have anything that you'd like to recommend, or you know, anything that you'd like me to talk about, and if I find it interesting, hey, I'll talk about it. So just let me know. Let me know in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.